league on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
The summer humidity has given way to an absolutely gorgeous fall afternoon here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Miami. And they will wiggle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Doing a throw right away. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. It'll be a gain of 5, and 3rd and 1 now. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. On the return is Sims. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. A number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Here's Jackson to throw. This will go to Henry out wide.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he gets this to the 34 out of bounds there. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Jackson. And able to get this one across the 45. Brought down. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now it's Jackson. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Second down and 4. On the option right is Jackson. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
In motion, Aguilar. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry from a yard away bowling his way in. And the Ravens will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing is Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to lead to a third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He's got it to the 43 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Jackson now. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 33. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They go play action with Jackson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now Tua. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Tua going to throw. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. On play action. Here's Tua. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this returnable for Sims. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Short completion, just 4 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And he stopped immediately there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Play action. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. (10-0) the score after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Jalen Phillips. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Malik Washington deep for Miami. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Achane to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now 3rd down and 7. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fights off the defender. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short throw caught by Andrews. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 5. Play action. It's Jackson. Crossing route, he finds Likely. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
They go play action now. Jackson. A check down here for Henry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Aguilar in motion left. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
That is caught. He will have the 1st down and a bit more. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Miami set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
down.
You
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Jake Bailey now. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Now it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. Jackson to Bateman there, 1st down Ravens. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. In motion, Aguilar. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him, because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
Steps away to his left, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout. Fielded just inside the 20. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it'll be Dolphin football. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to pass. Tua looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. It's Hill, complete. He's across midfield. Now inside the 25, Tyreek Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 55 yards. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. In motion right is Aguilar. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The offense on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Jackson. The quick feet by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And the tight end goes in motion left. Jackson now. And his throw here's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, the Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground, and he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
It was Derrick Henry, as he normally does, making his impact felt in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. Here's Jackson. A slant route caught by Bateman. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Jackson. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Play action. Now Jackson. Complete to Likely. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Jackson. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bradley Chubb able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Complete. Smith has it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. Tua going to throw. Dancing to his left. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Brent Urban there to get him down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. Here's Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In motion, Hill. They'll run for it with Achane. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
In motion, Hill. A run straight ahead with Achane. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And a loose football. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Up the middle, Achane. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Well, such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. A first down carry for Henry. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. In motion left goes a tight end. Throwing is Jackson. On target to his man, Likely. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a yard. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Operating from the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Complete at the 1. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line, and the try for 2, unsuccessful.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to pass. Tua. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, he gets it to Barrios. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more on that one and another first down.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he fends him off. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On the handoff, it's Achane. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
A give, running right, Achane. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football, CD. That's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And the pressure gets to him again. Odafe Owe picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Flowers going to go in motion right. They go play action now. Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Running from the gun with Henry. He'll take this to the 46. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Here's 2nd and 7. Jackson now. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Henry up the middle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And Well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed, right?
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now Tua. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From midfield, here's Tua. Throw to the right, taken in by Berrios. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Gets through, and now an opening. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and a couple. Tua sets up to pass it. Got a man, it's Berrios, complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Tua. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 30 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2. Tua going to try and throw for it. Eluding the pressure. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The home team's offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Tua. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Off tackle left with Henry. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Play action. It's Jackson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a 2nd and 2. Tua going to throw. Open man downfield is Hill. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Rolling to his right. And he has the Ravens 1st down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Second and 11 now. Inside handoff, Henry. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And even playing on the road, the class of this ball club just too much to overcome.
Yeah, and deep down, I think even the fans knew how this one was going to turn out. All right, they just came to support their team, hoped they'd see some good football, and they did. But they didn't really expect their team to win. In fact, they probably came in and said, let's win the tailgate, because that's where we have the advantage, and I bet they did that.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Miami, so long, everybody.
Not headed to the airport for this one. One more day here will suit me just fine.